Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. As you guys know, the roadmap continues to unfurl in front of us, and today we have some absolutely huge news. As you guys may know, separate BRs for air and ground battles, or really air, ground, and naval, have been coming for quite a while. A few years ago, Gaijin said that they would never do that, and about last year, once everybody started getting upset with Gaijin, they admitted that they could actually do that, and that it was on the way. And today, we have some huge news, and basically says, we plan to introduce this one along with the second major update of 2024, which by the way, should come out sometime next month, but we were able to finish it earlier, and today, we're pleased to present it to you. And right here it says we are planning to implement this change soon. I've checked in-game just now. I refreshed the game and everything. Does not appear that these changes have been implemented quite yet, but they probably should be possibly within the next few days. So I'll just kind of go over this briefly. I'll read it word for word so that there's no mistakes. It says the separation of battle ratings for different modes works as simple as this. The battle rating for a vehicle is different in aircraft battles, in ground battles, or naval battles, something not seen before in the game. Apart from a few exceptions, battle ratings for aircraft are set based on their performance in aircraft battles, not naval or ground battles. This is why there are more changes to battle ratings in ground battles than there are in aircraft battles with the release of this feature. And then it says, we'd like to make an important note that this is only the first change to battle ratings for this feature. At the moment, we've only included changes to top tier aircraft. For aircraft of the earlier ranks, we're planning to change their battle ratings if needed in one of the planned battle ratings segments that we do. Overall, we'll be carefully monitoring changes in the performance of various vehicles. And of course, they have a table to show us exactly the changes that we can expect. And honestly, it's pretty damn interesting. So let's go ahead and look at that now. And like I said, this is all top tier for the most part, right? Top tier, near top tier. And as you can see, ground battles, so like, let's say for example, if you're going to be flying the nets into ground battles, goes down to 11.7. If you're going to be flying the MiG-23MF, goes down to 10.3. The MiG-21 BIS, 10.3. All of this, I mean, they're not absolutely huge changes, and to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting huge changes, but that's not really the crazy thing here. MiG-27K, that's going down in ARB. I think a lot of people were more concerned about how these vehicles would be going down in ARB, right? And so the A7s, for example, they are all going down in ARB. Not a ton, so the A7D is only going down from 10.3 to 10.0. This from 10.7 to 10.3, of course, the A7E, and the K, again, 0.3 BR lower from 11 to 10.7. So it's not absolutely huge, but we are seeing a decrease. But then you look down here, and you see pretty decent increases as well. The Q5L goes from 9.7 in ground RB to 10.7. The AIT goes from 9.3 to 10.0. So there are some pretty big differences. The A4s, pretty much all of them, the E variants, 8.7 to 9.7. So it is pretty damn substantial how some of these are going to be increasing in ground battles. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how this plays out. But for the most part, it seems like we're seeing some pretty positive changes here. And possibly, hopefully, this also means that ground battles become a little bit easier because you're not getting completely wrecked by aircraft that should probably be higher BRs in ground battles, which is pretty damn interesting. And honestly, again, I think that this is a positive step forward. I can't wait to see how they fine-tune this, and also once they add other vehicles as well from lower tiers. Now, additionally, there are some postponements to the roadmap that they are working on. Unfortunately, it says the main postponement is the research bonuses for new nations, the roadmap feature, which they are delaying until after the second major update. Says that this has been thoroughly explained in a post, but in essence, our programmers need more time to create this feature, and it's at the highest priority of the lead game developers, or designers rather. We anticipate it sometime after the second major update in one smaller update, or an it's fixed update, and we apologize that this has been delayed again. Okay, makes sense. You know, I mean, something like that, you really want to make sure that it's right, and ultimately, they are still a business. They want to make sure that it's not going to completely nerf people spending money, I'm sure, so I guess it makes some level of sense. And another thing that they are adding is public squad. So if you guys don't know, there was a feature that some people are excited about in which you can get public squad. So you can search for people to squad up with, which is a pretty cool feature. You're not just joining a random squad every single match necessarily. Rather, you can just say, hey, I like P-51 Mustangs, and then you can just get into a squad with other people that like P-51 Mustangs at random, kind of like a party search. And then, of course, you can get into matches with those people consistently, match after match after match, because, of course, you'll be in a squad. It says that this one needs more time from our designers and programmers and will come out in the future. So, of course, it's not coming out now, but hopefully fairly soon. I feel like that will be a pretty cool feature that will hopefully increase the social aspect of this game and hopefully decrease, and I hate to use the term, but toxicity from the player base. And then, of course, we have the updated roadmap here. As you guys can see, it says down here that we will be getting, at least as of yet, they still have it planned for the second major update, so within the next month. Possibility of using flares and chaff separately. New air conquest missions in the air arcade game mode, which should be really cool. Introduction of new additional modules for ground vehicles based on player voting, which means that, of course, ground vehicles are going to be slightly more complicated in that they will receive more things basically that can be damaged inside of them, which is pretty cool. Healing of wounded crew members of ground vehicles, and of course, updating crew models by eras, adding character models for modern vehicles. So that's pretty cool as well. And then, of course, interface, ability to place a vehicle into a crew slot from the research tree by dragging and dropping it, visual selector for secondary weapons with mouse control and quick access to wanted weapons. Finally, addition of a timer to the aircraft heads-up display that counts down the time until the fired ammunition hits its target, which is really, really cool in my opinion. You don't really have to kind of continue to look. I think that that is a nifty feature. And then, of course, we have all of these over here, which a lot of people, I think, are really waiting for, but all of these are really cool as well. So that said, thanks so much for watching. If you don't mind, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. These are huge changes that, again, I think a lot of people are really happy about, especially, I know for me, a lot of people have been wanting the BR changes forever, and we are finally getting it here on May 22nd, 2024. So again, thanks so much. I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.